Welcome to this presentation of Corrymeela Inspire program's play Peace Day. My name is Glenn Jordan. I am the program manager for public theology at Corrymeela. This play was commissioned as part of our Inspire program, which was designed to commemorate the ending of the First World War. And we gathered almost 200 school children, year 10s, 14-year-olds at the City Hall in Belfast on the Friday before Armistice Day to engage in a conversation about peace and peace building and to commemorate the ending of the war. And the play was the centerpiece of that day, designed to, to confront these school children with the realities and implications of war, but also to encourage conversation about what it would take for us to be peacemakers and peace builders in our own communities today. The special recording of the play takes place in the Black Box, and we're recording it because we want to make this play available to all those schools who couldn't make it to the City Hall on that day. The play is called Peace Day, and it is set almost a year after the ending of the war, on Peace Day, which happened in August 1919. The centerpiece was a parade down past the City Hall in which veterans and nurses and civilians marched past a display stand set outside City Hall. Our main character is a young man who spent his years at the front and has returned to a very different Belfast and a very different Ireland after the war, and is struggling to find his place as peace takes hold. So welcome to Peace Day.
I suppose you're here for Peace Day, but you better get down there and stand if you want to get a view. Or the veterans will march down this side of City Hall, and then they'll parade past Field Marshal Sir John French and all the other bigwigs. I won't be marching, not after what I've been through. A bloke like me shouldn't even be in the City Hall, but I gave him a slip at the back door. I wanted to see this room. It's where we enlisted. The Lord Mayor of Belfast was stood on this platform with his chain around his neck on the day I joined. He came over to speak to me. Tell me about yourself, young man. Your name? Joe Brown. Very good. Work in the shipyard. Very good. A riveter. Well, that is a vital job. But you're off to the war to do your bit. The best of British luck to you. 19 years of age. You will make an excellent soldier. They called me the old man by the time the war was done. That's a laugh. I'm 24. But by the end of the war, my battalion was full of young bucks from England. You alright, Paddy, mate? This teaches a few tricks, yeah? About how to survive this ruddy war. But my name's not Paddy. It's Joe. But to the English, an Irishman is simply a Paddy. I often thought of the man with his chain when I was holed up in a trench. And I thought too about the queue of fellas stretching out this room and down the corridor. Now when you finally got as far as this platform, a recruiting officer would put a piece of paper in front of you. You would put a pen in your hand. And you would some of us signed our lives away that day. There were 5 of us went from my street. We were all pals. Me, Tommy Parker, Sean Brady, Billy Mackenzie, and Harry Boyle. Tommy He died at the Battle of the Somme. Sean, he died at the Battle of Messines. Well, Billy, he died at the Battle of Ypres. And Harry was sent back, gassed. But you went off to the war to do your bit. Well, congratulations, boys. You all made excellent soldiers. Have you feeling better these last few weeks? I mean, he told not to dwell on myself too much. And that I must on no account get angry. That's when the flashbacks start. Well, Esther says, stop thinking about the war, but I can't. Listen. Do you hear that? It's gunfire. The doctor, he says it's in my head, but that doesn't stop it happening. It's a wonder they let you lot in here. Now the mayor, he is hosting a banquet this afternoon for the great and the good. Little champagne, sir. Oh, but a little canapé. I'm sorry for looking at you, love. It's just for a minute I thought you were my wee sister. Annie. You look like her. She wants to be a nurse. Now, I keep telling her about the nurses that looked after me. And the Germans, they raided us one night. This big soldier, he threw a grenade into our dugout. At first, I thought I wasn't hurt. And then I felt wet under my uniform. It was blood. Have a look, nurse, will you? Shrapnel. Can you get me a doctor? He's busy. How long do you think you'll be? Come on, I can't wait. Alright. Yeah, I'll let you do it. What's that instrument in your hand? I don't like the look of it. She'd taken a big pair of tweezers and pulled a piece of metal this size out of my stomach. And 2 days later, the doctor, sewed me up. 5 weeks later, I was in the trenches again. I keep telling Annie, it's a tough job, nursing, but worth it. You reminded me of her, love. I swear. My cases? You'll be wondering about my cases. Well, I'll explain. Do any of you know Maggie's? Do you know Maggie's? It's a big factory up on the Springfield Road. You see, my other sister, Betty, well, she worked there during the war. She made shells. Shells like shells. Well, I asked her, Betty, now the war's over, is there any of those old shell cases lying about? Tiles, she says. Is there any chance of you bringing some back home for me? She did. And I got into my wee shed, making things like this. What? You have any idea what this might be? Like it's not a whiskey glass, no. It's not a telescope. No. No. Nowadays, right. This killed Germans. But now, that's a pencil holder. Come on, it's good, isn't it? You just bash it with a hammer, you polish it up real nice, and it looks lovely on your desk. I got a few other bits and pieces in here. I'll probably sell them all today. You'll find me in a few minutes' time with them all set around me. Come on, can I buy one, sir? It's just a shilling. A real bargain. Go on, it would look lovely on your desk. Come on, it'll be a lovely Christmas present. Like, what do you think? 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 This man went to fight for his country. And look at him now. He's selling bits and pieces for a shilling at a time. I hope you four are all very proud of me. You see, when I came here in 1914, I'd already been to see my foreman at the shipyard. You're right, son. No problem. Now, we'll keep you a job. A good, skilled riveter like you is always needed. And you see, when you get back from knocking the stuff in out them Germans, our girls will be chasing after you. You're lucky, man. Am I joining up? Ah, son, no. There are plenty of vital jobs to be done here in the city. Building good seaworthy ships and keeping the wheels of the war well oiled. But I'll be thinking about you, son. You understand? The best of British luck to you. And when I arrived back after the war, I went back to the shipyard. There's a new bloke in place. He's a Scottish fella. Look, son, I'm off for 5 minutes, so be quick, yeah? What do you want? I want my job back. I'm Joe Brown. I've been away for 4 years, fighting. Joe Brown, you were down here last week, weren't you? Listen, son, I'm sorry, but I think you need to get some help before we take you on again. Understand? How are you coping? Pack up your troubles and your old kit bag and smile. While you've a Lucifer to light your fag. Smile, boys, that's the start. What's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile. The first few months in the army were great. I kept thinking, this is the life. That's the reason I joined up. It's like a big scouts camp. And my 4 best mates were there. And when you finished training for the day, there were sports. Ding ding! I knocked the guy out once. He was a junior officer. The sergeant major, he comes up to me and says, "You're a tough one, aren't you, Private? Here, let me see those muscles. The Germans will be terrified of you, mate." I even got myself a brand new pair of boots. And look at them. And when I was away, we used to run around the streets of Belfast in our bare feet. That's why I enjoyed the route marches. I gotta break in my new boots. I gotta see the countryside. And as for bayonet practice, right, a big sack of straw hanging from a pole, and right, Tommy, Sean, Billy, Harry, we are on Saturday night leave. Right, let's hit Newcastle, find ourselves some girls, right? We'll get some practice in for France. I hear the girls in France are. Yeah. Have you boys been practicing your French? Come on, Tommy. You can barely speak to a girl in English, never mind French. Right. I'll show you how it's done. Parlez-vous anglais, mademoiselle? Oui, oui, oui. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Talking about girls. This is Esther. Pretty, isn't she? I met her just before I went away to war. We promised to write to each other. Her in Belfast, and me. Me in the trenches. After a year, I'd had enough. We both had. So when I came back on leave, I asked her to marry me. I arrived back on the Sunday. We were married on the Monday. I left again for France on the Saturday. I didn't see her for another 3 years. But we got busy before I left. You know what I mean? She sent me a postcard to tell me she'd given birth to our 2 girls. You heard right. Twins. Of course, the girls didn't know me when I got back. And I had no clue who this stranger was. I was a stranger in my own home. See, our love affair had been nothing more than letters. And now I was back. Esther was busy with the children. I remember saying to her, like, what about me? I've been away for 4 years, fighting, freezing cold, the flies and the lice eating away at my skin, the Germans ready to shoot me at any opportunity. Like, what about me? But during the war, Esther got a separation allowance from the government. But now the war was over, there's no more money. She had to go down to the wee church to get a food parcel. As she was out there looking after us, I was sat at home with the girls. kind of life is that? But there were some times I couldn't leave the house. I could barely go down the stairs. Esther said, "What is wrong with you, Joe?" I said, "I don't know." And then she said, and I'll never forget it, "You know what, Joe? For a soldier, you're such a big coward." She was sorry about that. She cried about it. She knew she'd hurt me. Do you hear that? Listen. It's gunfire! It's gunfire! Get down! It's gunfire! Get down! Gunfire! Right, you chaps. It's jolly well up and over and straight as an arrow towards the enemy lines. The shells we have fired at them ought to have done a damned good job. In no time at all, I was up and over, charging across no man's land, with the machine guns firing at me. Soldier beside me goes down, blood pouring out of his head. Soldier on the other side drops with a grunt. The soldier in front of me shouts out, "I'm hurt!" And he falls. So what do? I fall too. But I'm not hurt. I'm not dead. I pretend to be. It's the 1st of July, 1916, the Battle of the Somme, and I lie there in the baking sunshine until it's dark. It's dark. I won't be seen. I won't be heard. So I start crawling. There's a soldier crying out for a stretcher, but I don't help him. I keep crawling. I keep moving. It takes me an hour and a half to crawl back the Orleans. I slide back into the trench that I'd left that morning. The same officer, he's rounding up the survivors. And he says, "All lads have taken a terrible maul. And you are the courageous few who've made it back. Unlike the hundreds of decent chaps that made the ultimate sacrifice. Well done." I haven't told anyone about that. Not my neighbours. Not Esther. No, when my 2 girls are old enough to understand, and they ask, "Daddy, what did you do with the song?" What do I tell them? The doctor, he says it's good to talk about these things. "What are the things that make you angry?" he says. Well, I tell him that an awful lot of people made money from this war. But sometimes I think this war was started so that people could make money. I mean, think about it. Now, how many of us were in the British Army? 6 million. So how many books is that? How many razors? How many shaving brushes? How many helmets is that? How many millions of shells were fired? Well, that's the kind of thing I think about when Esther's sleeping. Just don't get me started. Just don't get me angry. Just give me a minute. I'll come back to myself in a minute. You know what this is? These were all the rage before the war. I took this one with me to France. Passed a few idle hours behind the lines. Entertained the lads. I remember one year, coming up to Christmas. It had all gone very quiet at the front. There was very little gunfire from the Germans, and very few shots fired back by us, so I decided to play a little tune. If I had done that at any other time of the year, the shells would have been raining down. One of ours says, "Shh! Do you listen?" Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. This big German soldier was singing. It's the first time I realised that they had the same carols as us. Only they sang it in German, of course. Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. That's a commotion down the trench, and an officer charging towards us. "What are you paddies playing at?" "What is Christmas, sir?" "Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly." And he ordered one of my mates to blast the enemy lines. Peace. The singing stopped. Or maybe we killed the man. I don't know. I've never understood that. How we're all Christians. How we were all Christian. Here we are, killing each other. For what? 2 years into that war, I didn't have a clue anymore. No. But these are my rosary beads. But I'm not a Catholic. A padre came up to me one day. "Joe, is it?" "Yes, Father." "Joe, did you know a Corporal Sean Brady?" "I did, Father. I grew up on the same street in Belfast. He lived 2 doors up from me. We joined up on the same day in City Hall." "Got some bad news for you, Joe. Last week, I gave the last rites to Corporal Sean Brady. I've let his folks know back home. Sent his possessions back there too, but he mentioned you. And he asked me to give you these. I raised heaven and earth to find you. Thanks, Padre. Well, thank you. Sean always said he'd make a Catholic out of me. They tell you in church about the Ten Commandments. It doesn't matter whether you're Protestant or Catholic. Do you know what the sixth one says? You should look it up when you get home. Right, lads, there's a German dugout down below. Spiral staircase, 30 feet. There it is crawling with enemy soldiers, undoubtedly armed. I have a grenade here, 10-second fuse. Private Brown, use it. Hold your fire. Not all of them have been killed. And one of them is shouting that he wants to surrender. Let him up. Come slowly up the stairs. Hands above your head. Come on. The German soldier. There's blood all over his face. Shaking. One of ours says, "Look, we can't afford to take him prisoner, Captain. Let's just shoot him. Look, we are British soldiers, men. We are not savages. And the rest of us will press on. You, Private Brown, you take the enemy back to our lines. Aye, come on, keep walking. Hands above your head." So there I was, walking across from man to man. The man I just rescued from death, after 5 minutes before, blowing up his comrades. I never got my head around that. I was fine to blow up a dugout. But it was wrong to shoot a man when he had his hands up. That night, it keeps me awake more than any other. Sometimes, when Esther and the girls are sleeping, I come downstairs, pour myself a drink, I just sit and think for a bit. It's a bad habit, thinking. Thinking cures nothing. I've picked up another bad habit since I got home. Stealing. That's another commandment broken. Now there's some well-to-do chap, he's opened a reading room for us ex-soldiers. I steal the newspapers, but only at the end of the day, you know, so it makes it alright. Have any of you read about this big peace agreement in Paris? And what do you think? Will it last? Our Prime Minister, he says, we want a just peace. And the American President says that he wants a world that is safe to live in. Well, there's plenty of grumbling about it. The Germans aren't happy, the Japanese aren't happy, the Greeks, the Italians, the Turks aren't happy. Well, us here in Ireland, we've never been able to get along, so No change there. Alright, I better go. I've got some trench art to sell. But I won't be at that all day. I've got an appointment. And when I found out that I'd lost my job in the shipyard, I sort of went into myself. I stopped talking, stopped eating. I would just sit and stare at the wall. And the doctors, they tried all sorts of different treatments to fix me, but none of them worked. No. Esther was exhausted looking after me, and my two girls were terrified of me. They couldn't understand. But there was this one doctor. He was a young man. He's very patient, very kind. And he asked me just to talk. So twice a week for 3 months. At first, I didn't say anything, but after a bit, I started to talk. No sooner had I started to talk, I started to cry. When I started to talk about everything that I'd lost, I couldn't stop.